comb!
Now in the past I've talked about Riding Bean and Gunsmith Cats. However, I want to get the word out for them once again as their creator, Kenichi Sonoda, recently came out with a Kickstarter for a brand new Riding Bean anime project, which hit its initial goal recently for getting 5 to 10 minutes of runtime. However, obviously for a project that aims to be
more powerful, more provocative, more intense, harder and faster,
well, then obviously it's going to need a lot more funds for a longer runtime. As of now, the Kickstarter has less than 2 weeks to get all the funds. A link to the Kickstarter will be posted down below, so be sure to check that out, obviously after this video, because I'm going to be recommending the greatness of the original Riding Bean OVA, as well as the OVA and manga for Gunsmith Cats, which somewhat connects with Riding Bean. Now, the original Riding Bean OVA tells a simple story. Bean Bandit is a badass courier for hire who one day gets himself framed for stealing the mayor's daughter. With the police after him, Bean and his partner and gun expert Riley Vincent have to figure out who framed them as well as outspeed the police. Now, this OVA is perhaps one of my all-time favorites as it's pure, exhilarating fun. In its 40-minute runtime, it's able to cram in enough action-packed car chases, shootouts, as well as over-the-top Macho Man moments you'd expect from an 80s action movie. Which is perhaps the best way to describe Riding Bean. It's an 80s action movie in anime form. Bean Bandit is an underrated, manly badass who, like most action heroes of the 80s, despite being in a somewhat realistic world, Bean himself is superhuman with insane skills behind the wheel and with knives, as well as insane strength. I mean, the dude fucking tackles a car head on. Manly! The animation here is still amazing to look at, and oh boy, that awesome soundtrack that surprisingly was done by an American musician, David Garfield, which fits the OVA like a glove and is overall fantastic driving music. Initial D is cool and all, but if you want to feel like a true badass behind the wheel, then you definitely need this soundtrack. Honestly, I love this OVA to pieces. I've watched it so many times either by myself or with friends, and it never fails to disappoint in giving you that action rush. And damn, that final scene in the parking lot is perhaps one of my all-time favorite anime moments of all time. It's just pure badassery. Surprisingly, this OVA was actually meant to be a pilot for a potential Riding Bean anime, which would have been the greatest thing ever. However, there was a bit of a dispute between the creator and writer, and supposedly some things that happened with the Yakuza getting involved and the studio closing down, but that part is a bit fuzzy. So, Riding Bean sadly never caught on. Luckily though, Kenichi Sonoda decided to keep on making with the awesome 80s action movie-like series with his next project, Gunsmith Cats, that starred Bean's partner, Riley Vincent, who went through a character redesign, which I guess is just a thing with her, considering she's getting another redesign in this new Bean anime project. This time, Riley has been rewritten as a gun store owner who also happens to be a bounty hunter hunting through the streets of Chicago, alongside her new partner and bomb expert, Minnie Mae Hopkins. Very much like Riding Bean, the Gunsmith Cats OVA is incredibly fun and action-packed, with the same amounts of car chases, western style, awesome animation and soundtrack, as well as much more of a focus on gunplay and a bit more sexual appeal. Only this time we have it all for 3 exciting episodes. That being said, I still feel Riding Bean is the better OVA, but this is still an awesome watch. Of course, there is also the manga this OVA is based off of, with the same name and its sequel, Gunsmith Cats Burst, both of which also eventually feature Bean Bandit as badass and manly as ever. The manga series, like the OVAs, is truly an underrated classic, with more of the same from what was discussed in the OVAs. Honestly, I'm surprised these series aren't talked about more, especially among the Western fans, since this whole series seems like it's heavily targeting them. I mean, they both fucking take place in America, for God's sake. The manga for Gunsmith Cats features a variety of story arcs that for the most part actually feel like their own individual action movie. Even without the awesome animation of the OVAs featured, the car chases and shootouts are still really well thought out and displayed here, thanks to Sonoda's attention to detail regarding guns and cars, which he himself is known to be a massive fan of. Overall, if you're an action junkie, then you really owe it to yourself to check out Riding Bean and Gunsmith Cats, as well as maybe give some of your money to the new Bean Bandit anime. While I'm super happy the series is getting attention once again, I deep down hope that this Kickstarter, like the original OVA, is sort of a pilot to test the waters for a possible actual Riding Bean anime series, like we were supposed to back in the 90s. As honestly, I think it would be a smash hit if put in the right hands, as well as quickly licensed, dubbed, and put on either Toonami or Netflix. Fans of this series have proven that there is a crowd out there, with previous successful Kickstarters for Blu-rays for both the original Riding Bean and Gunsmith Cats OVAs, as well as a recent Gunsmith Cats reboot short that was shown to the public during this year's Anime Central convention. So with an already established and hungry for more fan base, and hopefully the many more I make off of this video, I honestly hope to see more of these two series in the future. Also, yes, I know that this is not the Devilman Crybaby review like I mentioned before, and don't worry, it's already scripted and is currently in the editing process, just needs a little bit more time. But due to the deadline of this Kickstarter getting closer, and my passion for the series and characters, I really wanted to get the word out once again. So please, if you're a fan of action, definitely give this Kickstarter a look. And with that, I am Mr.FalconPunch 996. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Your support will be the key to see him back in his wild new cases and adventures.